Alrighty, folks, it is official. We have Reventure Consulting, aka Nick, I'm going to say Greeley, 2025 housing forecast. If you don't know Reventure Consulting, he has long been seen as the king of crash bros. He had started making crash calls back in 2020, but, and I want to put a big old capital but on all of this, we can no longer call Reventure Consulting a crash bro. I said it out loud. I don't think it is fair for myself to call Nick a crash bro. Why do I say that? Well, here is Nick's call for 2025. Again, this is the median home price. Actually, he's using the S&P Case Shiller. He is calling for, get ready for it, a 0.91% increase in home prices in 2025. Yes, Nick, that Nick, is no longer calling for an unheard of 20% crash, 15% crash, 50% crash. None of that. He is actually calling for, I'm going to round here, a 1% increase in home prices for 2025. So we now need to find the next king of crash bros, because at this point, Nick is sounding, frankly, like me. If you've heard my housing forecast call for 2025, it's 1 to 2%. I'm going to say that's close enough to 0.91 to call it the same. So, I don't know where the change of heart came from. I'm just appreciative that it happened. And you know what? I might need to unblock, or whatever the right word is, and see what he is putting out. Because again, I think we do have pain in certain markets. Austin, Texas, Miami, Florida, as you'll hear in a minute, Orlando. But the median home price for the United States is not going down 20% in a calendar year. Anybody's call for U.S. home prices to fall 20% in a single year doesn't understand history, doesn't understand basic math, and doesn't understand price elasticity. But that said, one more time, Nick Greeley, Reventure Consulting, is no longer a crash bro. He is essentially calling for a 1% increase in 2025 home prices. I want to say welcome and good on you. Good on you, Nick. I do want to talk about some data that I pulled out of realtor.com. There's a lot of stuff about housing as we roll out of 24 into 25 that I think is interesting. First and foremost, mortgage demand. Folks, what have I said for the better part of a year? Rates matter. More specifically, 7 bad, 6 good. Well, what do we have now? We have 7% mortgage rate. So if my theory holds, 7% bad, 6% good, mortgage demand should be down. Well, guess what? Refi demand down 36% week on week, although still up 10% year on year. Purchase demand down 13% week on week and down 17% year on year. We are seeing the housing market lock up. In fact, one of the articles I read yesterday evening was the deep freeze is hitting the housing market, the strongest seasonal slowdown in the last 2 years. Deep inside the article, it says rates matter, keeping buyers on the sidelines. Well, your I don't know what they're called, authors, your writers could follow one rental at a time and get this data early if you so choose. Let's shout out Frank in the accountability group. We had a Canadian investor join the one rental at a time community. This investor has 55 rentals, but now is looking to learn a new market of Ohio. They joined the community to network and learn. Also, there was a big preview about the out-of-state investing group, which kicks off tomorrow, Friday, 8 a.m., I believe. Already on the calendar, reoccurring event. Shout out Vincent and Lindsay for taking on that new group. So let's get into some of the data that we have seen. Realtor.com is calling for existing home sales to increase 1.5% in 2025. I'm going to take the other side of that trade. I'll take the below. I'll take lower. In fact, I think it will be the worst year on record when you adjust for population growth. So I'm going to take a negative number. In fact, I think it might be negative 1.5, negative 2, negative 3%. Interesting. When you peel back the inventory, the active listings, we still have a couple of areas of the country that are absurdly low, specifically the Northeast. The Northeast is down almost 50% from 2019, exactly 48.7%. They are up roughly 7% year on year, but still down roughly 50% from 2019. The Midwest is down roughly 37%, 36.5 from 2019, but up 15% year on year. The largest active inventory growth in December. This is very clear. In December. So what happened in December? I'm going to guess a lot of weather-related stuff. Miami's inventory jumped 45.4%. If my buy box was Miami, let me just tell you one thing. I would get super duper aggressive. More inventory, less buyers. Man, you know with certainty there is some motivated sellers in there. And of course, it's your job to go find them. Orlando, 42.4%. Again, Florida. And then the other one's Denver. Denver was up 42%, which I thought was interesting. So those three, Miami, Orlando, and Denver, most active inventory increase in a month of December. Most new listings. This one is also interesting, right? Who is selling? Most new listings comes down to Atlanta, up 17%, 17.8%, and Birmingham, up 17.1%. Folks, let's congratulate folks for joining our school community. We had 5 folks join in the last 24 hours. I want to shout out Joe, Jesse, Mike, Sofan, and Anna. Thank you for joining the community. Make sure you introduce yourself. Make sure you respond to some posts. Get yourself to level 2 or level 3 so you unlock those thousands and thousands of dollars of goodies. Also, check out the school map. It is in the upper right corner on the desktop version. It's not on mobile. It's on desktop. There is a pinned post if you want to know about that. So again, go check that out. We do have, thanks to Lance Lambert and Resi Club, the 5 most bullish calls on housing. Of course, we're going to lead off with one we've talked about before, Apollo Global Management, calling for a 10.8% increase in the median home price. I got to tell you, as somebody who's accused of being bullish, which I don't think I am, but hey, when you say it's not going down 20%, I guess that makes me bullish. I have no idea how you get to almost 11%. It's hard for me to model an 11% increase. It's just, I don't get it. I mean, an 11% increase from where we are today, probably, I haven't done the math, but I could, probably would make us the most unaffordable market ever. Today, 1981 holds that record, holds it by a fair amount as well. Today's bad, but it ain't 1981 bad. If we slap on 11%, we're talking 1981 bad. Next up, and in the second place, AEI Housing Center calling for 5.5%. Wells Fargo, just under 5% at 4.9%. Windermere, 4.9%. And rounding out the top 5 most bullish housing calls for 2025, we have the one and only Goldman Sachs coming in at 4.4%. Folks, as always, it is Thursday, and that means weekly unemployment claims. But remember, we have added continuous claims, right? That is my concern. We may not get the pop explosion in the unemployment rate, but we may see duration, aka continuous claims, rise. So we are going to talk about both. Weekly unemployment claims last week, 219. This week, expected to increase to 222. Drum roll, please, 211. 211. So, yeah, 211. But, there should be something said, holiday week, all of that. We will see what happens in January. There are plenty of companies that will not lay off in December and choose to wait to the second or third week of January. So let's see what happens in January. But good news, continuing claims last week was reported at 1.91. Expected to go down slightly to 1.89. Again, remember 1.91 was a high for 3 years, so concerning. Actually went down quite a bit to 1.84 million. That's a big drop for a 7-day period. So again, pretty interesting to think about. And again, something we need to talk about. Yesterday, we talked about the frozen housing market where I think it was 54.5% of active listings have been on the market 60 days or greater. That means one of two things. Again, I expect a lot of crash bros and doomers to jump on the bandwagon of this 54.5% of listings greater than 60 days, and they probably should. It's a scary headline. But as somebody who is in the data, and hopefully you are as well because you have a buy box and you look every day, we need to realize that some percentage, it's not 0, and it's also not 100. It's somewhere between that. Some percentage of these active listings are just stale. What is a stale listing, in my opinion? It is what I call wish pricing and laziness. Wish pricing is simply, hey, I'm a seller of a home. If I sell it at this number, I'll sell. Anything less than that, I won't sell. Now, most of these listings sign up for a 90-day or possibly 180, 3 to 6 months of active listings. A lot of these listings are frankly not getting shown anymore. In fact, the seller probably doesn't even know it's listed anymore. They've just forgotten. They've given up. However, it's still on the market. So no price reductions. That's probably a sign to look at. If you have an active listing in your buy box that's been on the market 60 days and does not have a price drop, that is probably wish pricing in a stale listing. The flip side of this, the flip side of inventory aging out is I get to go shopping. I guarantee you, and I very rarely guarantee, but I guarantee you somewhere in this market, there is motivated sellers, and motivated sellers are growing in number. Some people have to sell. And again, what I would look for in a listing that's on the market 60 days or greater is, have they had one, or dare I say 2 price drops? Again, folks, your job as an investor, and frankly, your job as a home buyer, is to buy a great deal. You make your money when you buy, not when you sell. You recognize it when you sell, but you make your money when you buy. So get aggressive. Follow up. We talked about a fourplex the other day, which I hope to get updated on because now it's after the first. It was listed for $550, and somebody in our community wrote the offer at $350. Now that's ballsy. Respect. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Now, again, don't be stupid. Don't be silly. Don't write those kind of offers on first day listings. Look for signs of stress. Look for opportunities. Do your homework. Look for equity position, right? Just do the work. But again, at the end of the day, it is out there. I'm convinced that One Rental at a Time community will get their best deals, frankly, of the last 3 or 4 years. Buyers markets are awesome. They don't last a long time. This one probably lasts until the summer. It may last all year, but I'm comfortable saying the summer at this point. As rates stay above 7%, pain will grow, thus motivation. Lastly, folks, remember our Vegas event, less than 6 weeks away. We are starting to sell tickets fast again. We sold 10 tickets yesterday. Again, remember, we did take the capacity down from 400 to 300. So if you have any intentions in going, I suggest you go to Eventbrite today and buy your ticket, book your flights, get your hotel going. It will be the can't miss event of the year. You're going to meet plenty of the millionaires, ask all kinds of questions, network, get friendships, and really learn about what makes real estate investing special, leads to financial freedom. I hope to see you there. If you do come, please bring your books, One Rental at a Time or 15 Conversations with Real Estate Millionaires. I'd love to autograph them for you. Jason Pritchard will be there. He's actually featured in the second book. You can get other millionaires to autograph your book. Actually, you know what? Let's try that. Let's put a bounty out there. If you're coming to the event, I want you to bring your book, One Rental at a Time. And on the front page, I want to see how many autographs you can capture from the various millionaires on the channel. And I will find some type of award. So bring your books. Let's make it a game. Let's see how many autographs you can capture. Again, there's going to probably be 15 to 20 millionaires that are on my channel. Many of them every week, some of them occasionally. But let's just see how many autographs you can capture of millionaires who have been on this channel. That should be fun. So, folks, buy the tickets, get there, join school. I think school is going to take off this year because we're doing it the right way. 67 cents a day. We're collecting go-givers who are all going the same direction, giving away free education, live events. It's just the place to be. I hope you have an amazing day. It is January 2nd. And one more time, Reventure Consulting, Nick Greeley is not a crash bro. He is calling for roughly a 1% increase in median home price in 2025. I think that's pretty awesome. I think that's pretty cool. All right, folks, take care. Later.